We may have seen glimpses of Mars in pop culture where Matt Damon famously grew potatoes using his own waste. But there's so much more to Mars than a dusty red landscape. It is the second smallest planet in our solar system, with only about 10% of Earth's mass, and the tallest mountains in the entire known solar system. But amid these incredible discoveries, there are still numerous mysteries about Mars that remain unsolved. So, without further ado, let's get to the list of the top 10 mysteries that continue to baffle scientists all around the world. On number 10, let's talk about the two drastically different hemispheres of the red planet. So, the northern hemisphere is flat and low, while the southern hemisphere is about 3 miles higher in elevation. Scientists used to think a huge asteroid crashed into Mars, causing the flatness. But now they have a new theory. They believe that after the cosmic collision, a flow of hot magma flooded the southern hemisphere, creating the elevation difference we see today. Next up on number 9, let's shed some light on how Mars has so much of methane. You know how methane is often associated with cow farts and contributes to global warming on Earth. And that's what makes it something which is typically released by living organisms. So, how does a planet where we haven't found any signs of life emitting this gas? There are a few theories floating around. One that it could be that methane has been trapped under the Martian ice for ages. Or maybe it's the result of ancient microbes releasing it, or even some weird chemical reaction. What we do know is that spacecraft orbiting Mars have detected plumes of methane on multiple occasions, which is quite remarkable considering the planet's thin atmosphere. At the 8th spot, we'll discuss how Mars has signs of water, but it can't be from the surface. So, back in 2008, they discovered ice on the planet. And where there's ice, there's a chance of water. And where there's water, there's a possibility of life, right? And that's why researchers think that there might be a subterranean lake of standing water on Mars hidden somewhere beneath its surface. Now, normally liquids at such depths should be frigid minus 68 degrees Celsius. Yet, somehow water manages to persist there. For now, the orbiting satellites unfortunately haven't caught a glimpse of this underground lake. Coming in at number 7 is the potential of life as we know it, but on the Martian planet. So, we know how people like Elon Musk and even NASA are on a mission to defy all odds and kickstart human colonization of Mars by the 2030s. However, there are many challenges that they have to overcome. Like, for one, radiation is a major concern. Plus, it's almost impossible to grow anything on the Martian soil. So, if we ever want to move to Mars, we have a lot of work to do on the survival techniques. Now, at the 6th spot, let's discuss why did the red planet change its climate. So, about 4 billion years ago, Mars was a watery wonderland. Now, if Mars is about 4.5 billion years old, it's safe to say that this dusty red planet we know today was once quite moist. But then something happened. Over the next few billion years, its atmosphere began to vanish and the sun entered the next stage of its stellar life cycle. So it became really hot. However, we're still not sure how Mars was able to retain the water in a place where scorching sun should have evaporated it all. Some scientists have this rat theory that Mars might have started its journey orbiting much closer to the sun and then fell behind to its current position. It's the best explanation we have so far, but there's no evidence to support it. Next up, at the 5th spot, let's talk about how we don't know much about the two potato-shaped moons of Mars, known as Phobos and Deimos. Now, despite being so close to Mars, we don't have a lot of information about our neighbors' moons. Some people even say that Phobos and Deimos might have been asteroids that got captured by Mars' gravitational pull. But the shapes and angles of these moons don't quite align with that theory. It's more plausible that a powerful impact struck Mars, propelling the future moons into their current orbits. However, there's one interesting thing about Phobos. Scientists caught a formation like a massive rectangular monolith, towering over 90 meters in height. While it's possible it's just a rectangular, irregular chunk of Martian rock, but it could be something else too. Who knows? The 4th mystery on our list is the photo of a white light taken by the Curiosity rover on Mars. So it happened in June 2019 where the Curiosity rover captured a picture revealing a peculiar white glow in the distance, behind some hills. Obviously, skeptics jumped to the conclusion of extraterrestrial activity, but NASA said it was probably caused by either a lens flare or a cosmic ray. Coming up next on our list, we have what seems like dry ice pits at the Mars' south poles on number 3. So, you remember we discussed about the possibility of a hidden lake? But near the southern pole, there are pits filled with dry ice with a mysterious lining. These pits are almost as wide as 200 feet and are lined with a peculiar dust like substance whose composition is still unknown. It's even speculated that this dust could be gold, although confirmation is yet to be obtained on this. At the second spot, let's talk about the giant dust storms that take place on the planet. Now, believe it or not, these storms are said to be the largest in the solar system, and given Mars' desert like landscape, they can be triggered by relatively minor disturbances. Now, scientists believe they could be triggered by sunlight warming dust particles, which then warm the thin atmosphere and create more wind to capture additional particles. However, these are just theories and speculations, and the exact mechanisms behind their enormous scales of these storms remain a mystery. And finally, at number 1, we have the biggest question. And this is if life on Earth came from Mars. So, scientists are seriously considering the concept called panspermia. The theory suggests that the essential building blocks of life, possibly in the form of spores, hitched a ride on a meteorite from Mars to Earth. Mars, with its favorable conditions billions of years ago, had the right minerals to flourish life. So, with that, it's a wrap on our list of top 10 mysteries of Mars. So, which one of these fascinated you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our future content.